Hello, hello. Wow, look who's here. Wow. Hi, guys. What's going on today? Jeez, we got the bald gamer. If he's here, I don't know. We'll have to see. Eric Bellardo's in the house. Aaron, how you doing? I checked out your YouTube channel. I really like what you got started there. I'm so happy to see that. And hello, he reappears. That's me. And I can't believe we got Robert. How you doing? I'm surprised to see you today. I'm glad you could make it. And this is my mom. She's in the house. Hello. Thanks for coming in, watching. Ash, just had you on last week. We had a great time. That's great. Wow. All right. So we have a few people in today. That's fantastic. I'm so happy about that. That's so awesome. So today it's just going to be like a little short discussion of, basically just like, why aren't you getting started with your YouTube channel? Why aren't you getting started with the streaming? What's holding you back? What's the main thing that's stopping you from the biggest driving force forward? And what if you're already starting things and you're got a YouTube channel, or you just started streaming, or you just did your first, maybe you just posted your first YouTube video. What was the hardest thing to overcome? What is the toughest thing that anyone has seen moving forward? I think for me, one of the toughest things to just getting started, because it's always just getting started is hard, right? But I think the toughest thing for me was learning how to edit. I believe that was the toughest thing for me. So if you're out there or you're just watching and you haven't made a comment, stop in and say hello. You don't have to sit in the background and just not ask anything. I want people to jump in. If you haven't ever came here before, my name is John, and I'm new to streaming, and I just started a YouTube channel about 8 months ago, and I'm about 30 videos in and about 10 streams total in. And so it's a work in progress for me. And if anyone's out there, just give me a drop of how does my audio look with matching up with my lips this week? I've been trying to get to the bottom of a few things, and I changed some settings with OBS. And if it's a lot better today, I'd like to know what you guys think. So, because that's a learning, there's so many different factors that go into that with, how you set your cameras, how your settings are in OBS, how your settings are in Windows. And so I was taking a look at everything, and Consistent Ash says, I'm good. I look like I'm synced up. Well, that's fantastic. Oh my God, that's great. So I think I got to the bottom of it, guys. And, I'll talk to you a little bit later about that, just in case anybody really wants to know about that. So, that's great. Thank you for letting me know that. I love that. So I'm going to get into like what held me back. Of course, the first thing, right, is really just getting started. That's the tough thing, right? We all have like ideas in our heads and thoughts that we would like to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to share with you guys what my thought was way back in about 2008, where I wanted to get started with a YouTube channel. And it was about motorcycles, and it was about riding motorcycles and doing reviews on motorcycles. And I've ridden hundreds of different types of motorcycles. I've owned about 20 myself. I've ridden all over the East Coast. I've been to Mount Washington on a motorcycle and down, thank God. And I've been to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I've done it all. So it's like, was really interesting to me. I know a lot of history about a lot of different types of bikes, and that was my thought. So fast forward, I never jumped into it. I've did a few videos that when I sold a motorcycle, I put it on YouTube, but never had the goal to like start it, because it's like, it's easy just to record something, but then where do you go from there, right? So I basically just jumped into it this year when we were talking about like starting a YouTube channel for my son. And then when I started with my son first and we did the videos, it got me peeked into trying to think about what I would like to do for myself. So that was the start of things for me, basically. So, Never Call Me Again. If you don't know his YouTube channel or his podcast, Never Call Me Again podcast, this is Robert, and he says, there's a huge relief after posting your first video. You realize it's not as big as a deal as you think, right? I think it's like you get over that hump and it is a relief. It's like, okay, take the deep breath. I finally did it, and so you feel good about that. And it's an accomplishment and you should feel good about that. Thank you, Ash. I appreciate that. So, and that's like the first goal, right? Is getting that first video out. And so for me, after doing a few things for my son, I was using just the Windows editing at that time. And we had a camera because my wife had a business with photography, and it wasn't good for video. And it was, we're going back 2014. It was a 5D Mark III, great for photography and etc., but just wasn't what we needed. And so I got a EOS R, and then I have an M50, and I got an M50 Mark II I upgraded to. So, but if it's that like camera stuff, is that holding you back? You don't know what to use to record? Do you feel like you need a camera? Do you feel like you don't even know where to start with your phone recording? Is it the editing factors? Because I was using the Windows editing to start, and I used that for a few months. And then I finally went into using DaVinci Resolve. So if you have any opinions on stuff, or I would also like to know what everybody uses for editing. So if you use Filmora, or I would be curious to know if anybody does use Filmora here. I hear a lot of great things about it. And so if you do use it, let me know. If you use DaVinci Resolve, that's what I use. Or do you use a Mac for that matter, and you're using, that setup, or Premiere Pro? What are you using? So I got, Ash says she uses Movie Vega Studio Pro 16, which I have heard of good things about it actually too. So I don't know much about that, but okay, that's really cool. And I kind of like started with, I went right into Resolve because I knew I would never get over that Resolve. I would never outgrow it. So I was like, why not just start there, force myself to learn it and grow with it. And so that was my thought process, and it's free. So like, what's better than that? You know what I mean? So we got, Eric says he's got Adobe Rush. Okay. For me, the second video kicked the anxiety. I don't know why, honestly. So the second video kicked your anxiety. I could understand that though, because I think now it's like you got the first one out, and maybe if you're a lot like all of us who are here, right, starting new YouTube channels, and also let's remember, recap from last week. If you are here and you guys want to put a comment in down below, not a comment right here in this live section. After the video, put a comment down below so we can find your YouTube channels and everybody can get in touch with each other if they make contacts here in the live chat. Because I love it when the live chat is going and you want to talk and you want to find each other. If you put a comment into the live chat, that helps you find each other afterwards, okay? Your YouTube channel or for that matter, anything. So I can understand how that could happen, because you just want to get better. And Robert says editing sucks until you learn how to do it. So yeah, Final Cut Pro, which is fantastic. Final Cut is a great program. And I think we saw that, right? And okay, that's what I'm learning from scratch. And Aaron, that's exactly what I did. I learned exactly from scratch, and I started with the simple things in the edit, and I didn't even go to the cut in everything. I do a lot just right in the edit scene, and I don't even do any color correcting yet, and that's why I'm happy about having a Canon camera, because the colors are great right out of the camera usually. So it makes it easy. But continuous conversation on background video quality is stellar. Yes. He sounds good, and I love his content because it's just a guy talking to you about what he's going through and what he's trying to do. And that really relates to all of us here, right? Which is trying to get started doing this, and what is holding you back from doing it? Is it being judged again by somebody else? Is it not feeling like your stuff is going to be good enough or worthy enough to put on YouTube? And if you are thinking that, you just got to go to even these biggest YouTubers that are around and look where they were 3 years ago. I mean, what you should be thinking is, we're so lucky to have the technology we have, because we can look and sound good like right off the bat. And from there, it's going to still be a learning, curve on everything, but we're ahead of the game as they, when they didn't even have good quality stuff for cheap. I mean, who would have thought that you could have a switcher for $300, or the quality audio that you can get and the camera that you can have for, $700 and really look good, or even the quality that we're getting out of the cameras today. So remember, you could start with something just like this, You could just use this. It pops up, and you could put your camera right on this, and these are great. And you can extend it. Your mic goes right in there. And then what I got, and this is made by Yulonzi. This is a selfie stick. It's an MT16. It's got a little ball head on it that you can adjust at the top. And this is made by Yulonzi also. And you could put your camera right in this. This is a Yulonzi ST03 phone holder. It folds up real small and compact. And then you can open it up like this. And you could put your phone, and it's got a little cold shoe on it, and it screws like right into the bottom of your stick right here. So you can have your phone on there, walk around on it, and then just like record your video. You could drop it down. You could have it facing you on a rock and record outside. You could have it on a desk and record right there. So I mean, but there's a lot of pluses to all this, continuous conversation says, thanks again. I appreciate that for the quality audio and video. And thank you. No, I do no color grading. And that's just my setup, right? I just set it up, and I try to get the white balance to the right spot. I try to set all the lighting to match my white balancing. And that's how you get a good look like this, Irium Cam for your phone. Okay, that's an editing app, Eric? Because I've never heard of that, so that's something new if you're talking about for your phone. So, or a camera. Is that a camera app for your phone for recording too? So those types of things, don't let it hold you back. I mean, you got to start with what you have, and if it's the video quality, just use your phone if that's the case. But the first thing you need to do is start dropping that stuff into an editing program and get used to editing. Bang out videos and just do the editing over and over till you get to the point where you're comfortable with your editing, because you need to get comfortable with that to be able to push out your videos. Otherwise, it's gonna be a bear to be able to do that, and it's gonna hold you back from your content. Because I do know of people that have video and then they don't, just never gets out to YouTube because they don't edit it. It becomes too much of a work for them to learn how to edit and feel comfortable with it. So don't let that hold you back. You got to jump into that. So that's streaming from your phone that you're using, he's saying. Okay. Okay. So there you go. You can use that. You can also use StreamYard on your phone. It's web-based. So you can use StreamYard right on your phone and have this kind of effect with the pop-up on the screen, just like this, and be able to interact with your audience. So for streaming, this is what you could do just with your phone, and then hook up a mic, a decent quality mic to your phone, and then you're out there streaming, So don't let that hold you back either. So I've been using Adobe Photography Suite for 15 years or more, but I tried to avoid another monthly payment. That's why I went with DaVinci. Okay, and that makes sense, right? And that's what I don't like about Premiere either, is they went from, you could, buy that and then you could own it. And now they took that away and you have to pay every month or every year. And it's, sometimes good deals for teachers they give and stuff like that. But I was just like, I just want something free. And I just know, because a lot of professionals use they absolutely use DaVinci, and it works fantastic, and you can't outgrow it. And if you feel like you're going to outgrow it, then pay the cheap amount that it is. I think it's like $2.99 or $3.99, and then you own it. So for that matter, so it's not that big of a deal. And even he's saying there's a promotion going on right now from Blackmagic. You could buy a lifetime license, and then they give you the speed editor. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's really cool. So, and then Robert says, what is the biggest challenge as a content creator after 8 months on the platform? I think for me, the biggest challenge is to continue with a goal. Like 8 months, I think it's always setting the next goal. If you don't do that, that's when you start falling flat on anything you're doing. So that's a good question to leave up in general, right? What's the biggest challenge as a content creator, no matter how long you're on, right? So it's go and have a goal and then reach it, and then go for that next goal. And for me, I'll give you an example. Going back about 2 months now, or a little 2.5, so 10 weeks or so, was to do a video every week. And then about 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago was to stream once a week. And so I've accomplished that goal so far, and I want to keep on moving forward just with that, because I know with the one video a week and being consistent with that, that's a lot right there. And then doing the live stream is another added thing to it. And so I want to be able to do this because I think both of them are fantastic. And I've really fallen in love with the live streaming myself. And I love the people out there. I love you guys. I love talking and interacting and learning from each other, because that's what's really fantastic about it, is that we always can grow from each other in different experiences. And, even like me, I'll figure out something until, if I have to dig in. It's just like this OBS with this sync issue. If this goes smooth tonight and I do a couple more streams and it's perfect, then I know, like, I looked all over YouTube to try to find an answer for this, and all everybody just said was, "Oh, just sync your audio in OBS." Yeah, no kidding. Like of course. Like who doesn't know how to do that, right? Because that's what everyone does, and then you see a million videos, but there's more to that. There's like three or four different things that you got to make sure are done. And then the last thing you do is check your sync. So hopefully I can figure out that whole answer with that. And this is something that I could say now I know how to do. So are you using a mic booster right now, John? The mic booster. Yes, I'm using it right now, guys. So this is it right here. So I got it going right here, and it's on. I'm right here. And so if you didn't see my video this week, this is the video is on this Clark Technic mic booster for my pod mic that I have right here, and it's really works fantastic for me. I'm very happy with it. I would say that you just got to make sure with a mic booster is when you install it, make sure the short end of the cable, a 2-foot cable goes right into the back of your audio interface, or the front for that matter, a short cable. And then the longer cable is what goes from out and into your mic. So, because you're sending the signal, so the shorter the XLR cable is on this side to your mic booster, the better. So I just want to point that out. That's how you would set it up. We love you too, Pookie Bear. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. I think we got quite a crowd, don't we? So yes, I have three three camera angles going on. So, and I think it's great to have that. I'm fortunate to have it set up like that, but I just think it's like really helps with the stream, right? I don't wait until I got to show you something and then be like, oh God, how can I show you this? At least I can just drop a camera angle and then just hold this right up, and this thing focuses like in an instant. So you can see how this thing looks right here. So you got two inputs and outputs on this thing, right? $49. $49. And I'm telling you, if someone's having trouble with this, a lot of times, like I wonder, are people, are they having a hard time with not knowing what they're doing? And also, what I do notice is at a certain point, like you keep on taking this booster up, yeah, you're going to get some noise in the signal. But for the most part, this signal sounds really good on this. And I'm happy with it. So I'm going to keep on using it, and I'm going to see if it stands up for the test of time. But people have done reviews on the Clark products. They have a CT one and they have a CM one, and people really like them. So I don't know. I think this is going to work out fine for me. So yeah, I have two boosters. Here's the deal. So I saw it for $79.99 at Sweetwater. I ordered one. I go back the next week and I see that they're on sale now for $49.99. So I called up my guy at Sweetwater, Alan Moon is his name, and he adjusted the price for me. And he then went and I told him, like, order me another one. I mean, it's $50. Order me another one. It's $100 for two. So I was like, and now I have 4 inputs for a mic. How fantastic is that? You can't beat that. It sounds low right now. Well, as far as my levels in the OBS right now, I am absolutely perfect. So if I go any higher, it looks like that I would be tapping out. So I don't want to do that. But your sound went down. Oh, did it really? I only just put it down a little bit. So is that better, guys? There you go. Does that sound a little bit better? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I touch things. That's the problem. Like, I just didn't want it to be, I don't want it to peak. That's the thing I don't want. Even though I have a limiter on it, it was just it was hitting hard against the limiter a lot because OBS is sensitive sometimes when you're using this with the Rodecaster going in. So, but yeah. So you guys are happy with this, huh? Yeah, I was messing with it. What's the web? Is it your local store? So no, Sweetwater is actually. I think they're located in Indiana, and they're well known for audio equipment. And this is why people go through them, and they're very customer oriented. So they like whoever you deal with the first time, you usually always have that guy, or you just call that guy because they work on commission, but they're really customer oriented. Like I said, they'll let you know when the stuff goes out, when it comes in, if you need anything else. And they're just on top of their game. And I really like the way they operate, which usually don't get anymore. So okay, good. So yeah, so that's where I got it from. But I don't think I've seen it anywhere cheaper either. So if you are looking for it, that might be the cheapest place that you can find it. But you know, who knows? But I caught it and it was like really good price, and I was like, I can't lose for that. Even if it's like it ends up being a piece of garbage, which I don't think it will, it was worth $50. It's $49. And then if I'm gonna go and spend for a two input output for a cloud lifter, 250, that's just a lot of money, you know what I mean? So I wasn't ready to drop that much for that. So John's got a guy. I got a guy. Of course, John's got a guy. I got a guy, and he sells you the Brooklyn Bridge. So that's my mic booster, and yeah. So I just was wondering like what was holding you back, because like really for me, I'll even be honest with me. Before I started my streaming like 6 weeks ago, I was holding myself back because I remember walking with my wife and saying, I need to start this streaming. Like it's about time to like start this. And I wondered like, what am I going to do? Like, what are we going to talk about? What am I going to like come out there with? And I think like it's really cool. We come out with a little something in the beginning. We could talk about the Canon M50 one week. We could talk about comparing a couple mics. We could talk about why, we haven't started YouTube. We can talk about just a lot of different things, why you haven't started streaming. But the thing here is we're all here. We're all starting YouTube channels. We all have experiences that we can share and grow from. And it's a community that we can go and grow out from here. And that's what I just started realizing was I jump on streams. I see the same people in those streams. And then I see them, they see me in that stream, and all of a sudden I got like one or two people stopping by here from those streams. And it just seems like the streaming content is not like overwhelming here. There's not like so much of it that you can't like carve your spot. So I think it's like really awesome that you can still like carve your spot with streaming. And that really helps you interact and connect with the people that you're meeting and talking to right here. And they're not just seeing you in a video every week. You know what I mean? Like the video is not me yet. Like I can't come out and be the smiley face I am. I look like I want to beat somebody up in a video. I don't know. Do I look scary in some of the videos? I'm trying to be a little bit funny and see the personality, but it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But here where we're interacting and talking to each other, it's much easier. And then you get to see people for who they are, so that's just the way I feel. I need to just start a stream already. Robert, you do. And I mean, we had a conversation the other day, Robert and I, and I mean, he's got so much to talk about, and he is such a great interviewer, and the way he talks and the things that he can talk about would be great. So I think you do just need to like start it, and then don't even worry about anything else. You just got to do it. We can worry to the day we die about how messed up we can make things. Like, I could hit a button right here and then there's my stream and then I'll see you guys next week. But you know what I mean? It just, whatever. You can't worry about it. And like even Eric saying, yuppers, just do it, just start. And that's it. Like you just got to jump on it and just do it. And I'm really enjoying it. And then my content will grow and you guys are helping. Like just the interactions that I have with you guys, you making comments and then me going on here and popping them on the screen and having the conversation is great practice for me. And also we can learn together. And you guys can ask me questions. I mean, that's also what I'm here for. If I can help you set up something, if I can help you look better, if I can help you sound better, not your voice, but I don't do singing lessons, but I'm just saying the mic situation. Now, things are a little bit like different here. Like when you're not using vMix or Ecamm and you're using OBS and you're using things like right here, I got the ATEM mini switcher over here. Right here, I got the Rodecaster. And you could see, here, right here is my screen and everything is going through OBS. It's a little different. You got to make sure that your settings in OBS are correct and things go smooth in there. And like right here, like I know on this right here, on the Rodecaster, I know my settings are good right here. But the problem is my settings look different in OBS. So you kind of got to know the software and how touchy it is compared to just looking at your settings in here. So I'll get better at that. But those are the kind of things that I'm talking about but this is free. I mean, OBS is free and it's so good when it works right. You know what I mean? When things are going smooth and you could figure it out, it works so well. And so I've only had problems syncing up with streaming. And if I can get to the bottom of it after this stream, it's worked fantastic. So the whole thing is just figuring out what you have sometimes because things change. I changed internet providers. I changed where I live. And then I'm changing some of my hardware. So this is like a learning process altogether. So yeah, so let me see. Oh, wow. This is getting a lot of attention, Eric, the Pookie Bear. Yeah. I don't know. Is this going to stick? That could be a little bit weird. So, yeah, yes. Mr. Troll. Hey, Chris McCormick stopping in. Thank you, man. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. So you're using OBS for recording the videos. Yes. So that's how I started using it, right? I just started using it as recording my videos and that worked fantastic. And like you might have to do a little off sync in there. And that's, something that you might have to do. Not always. And it works great for that. But then when I started streaming, it was fine for a while, and then a lot of things have changed. So I went from an audio interface like the Motu M2, and then I went to the Rodecaster and some different settings. So that always has a little bit effect on me. So of how things work. But OBS, I don't have a Mac, but I believe they have a download for Mac, Windows, and Linux. So it's available for all three. And this is being confirmed by Eric. So yes. So that's, it's a great software to get started for video recording, screen recording, and for streaming. It has everything you need to get going, and a lot of people use it. And so the next level would be for a Mac would be Ecamm, or it would be vMix for Windows. So it depending on that. But I'm not ready to get to there yet because this is doing everything that I needed to do as of right now. I don't have any problems except for this sync issue had me for a little while. And then like you guys have seen like the little added things with the confetti and the countdown timer. These are things that I've all done for free. So you figure out these things. You can make even overlays in Canva. You guys use Canva, right? Doesn't everybody use Canva for their thumbnails here? I'm sure that's the case. So that is... you can make an overlay in there, and then you could just drag it into OBS drop it into OBS, and then come into StreamYard and use an overlay. And that's how you can do it. So, and this is exactly what I'm doing, Eric, right? So you see a lot of people, they do the same thing. So you use OBS, okay? And then you use the virtual camera in OBS. So I hit the virtual camera, it brings in everything from OBS as like a webcam. So now when you go into like a Zoom or you go into StreamYard, it's just pick OBS virtual camera, and that brings me in, and I can use everything from OBS anywhere else. And StreamYard is just using this platform. I can stream out to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, but I just generally use it for YouTube. And this is just going to help you reach people more. You can pop this everything up on the screen a lot easier, and that just helps everything go a lot easier in having conversations and interacting with the people that stop by. So that's the main idea. So continuous conversation. Aaron asks, that's the brand of the background lights. I did try something similar with RGB outdoor lights, but the flickering was a problem. What's the brand? I think you asked me this a while ago, and you know what I'm going to do? I am going to look them up, and then I'll drop it in the comments down below so you can get that answer, because I think you asked this a while ago. So I'll look it up on Amazon. I got them from Amazon. I actually just saw them the other day, and I do know that I got 2 of them for $38. And so that comes with an app that you can just go download onto your phone, and then you can change the colors on the fly. So I could just sit right here and then just change the colors in the background for whatever I want. And then what I started doing also was I started taking another light, and I don't know if you guys can see it in this picture or not. Okay, you see the edge of it. So right here, the edge of this, it's got a softbox on it. This is a light, and it faces to the back of my room. And the reason I did that was to light up the back of my room a little bit more, and I think it gives a nice clear background picture. And so I could do that, or I can make the background a little bit darker too. And that's what's great. You can always change up your background, and that really helps by having things look kind of fresh. And that's what that's what I'm thinking in my head, is that I don't want to keep everything looking the same all the time, because that gets boring, right? So, and of course I know that a lot of people use these Hue Phillips lights, and I don't know how much they are, the hues, but I just know that these 2 outdoor RGB lights that I have were $38, and man, they do a great job, and they don't get too hot at all, and they work fantastic. So I found them, and a few people really liked them, and I was one of them that fell in love with it. So yes, okay, you did ask. All right, so what I'll do is I'll copy and paste the link down below, and then you could check it out, and there you go. So yeah, so I don't know if everybody is ready and willing to start. I mean, now's the time to start. I don't know if anyone else noticed here. I know we have a few people with YouTube channels here. I checked my stats for the last 7 days, and since we hit some nice weather about a little over a week ago, my views dropped like 38%. I mean, and it's not just the views on my stuff, because if you go into your analytics and you check, the impressions just aren't there. Usually you'll see an impression number, and the impression numbers just dropped. It didn't drop. My through rate didn't drop. Actually, on a couple of them it went up, but it's just the impressions are dropped a lot. And then today actually picked up a decent amount. And I noticed like midweek it does, but there's this like big cycle, starting and happening, I think, with everything that's going on. I really basically think that, everybody was just consuming all this video all the time because they couldn't go anywhere. And now you're seeing the change. And I wonder how big of a change it's going to be for us, because I only know one aspect of everything by doing this like 6, 8 months. So what is the other aspect? I wonder what that's going to look like. So, I'm curious. So okay, same here. But there were issues with YouTube. Yes, there was, but I checked the outages, and the outages were not that significant, even though I know there were outages for sure, and there was problems with reading data for days. But the views still are down, and I don't think it really is contributing to that. So I was getting 400 views a day for 6 weeks straight. And then I was like, literally, I think there was a couple of days that I just had, I was like 80 views all day. So yes, your numbers are up, and they should be up. When you're new to YouTube, you're going to have numbers that are going to be going up. I mean, my overall watch hours are up a ton, but I can see the difference in the views from a week gone by. So if you check everything, but of course, if you're just growing a lot right now, everything is up for me, like especially my subscribers, all this, the watch time is up, but the views this past week just dropped a lot. And I just wonder if it's going to be something that is going to be continuing on or not. So we'll see. John, do you use your wife face powder on your head? Asking for a friend. Do I what? Wife face powder? What is that? You mean because it's so white right here? Is that what you're saying? What does that mean? What does that mean? That I actually have, I wonder if it's like you're talking about this part right here. It always gets a little bright here because both lights come from each direction. And then I have this light over the top to light up the desk a little bit more. So this just gets like right here. Definitely does. Oh, it's a bit shiny. No, actually the lighting in here does heat up this room. I'll tell you that. It's not really, it's all LED, but I think it's just like being in this room for an hour or so and streaming with the lights up a little bit higher. So the color looks really good. And plus it's been warm in New Jersey for the last couple of days. I'm on the verge of, turning on the AC. I thought we should have today, but I got like, everyone's like, oh, it's perfect in here. But, I like 65 degrees. I'm not an 80-degree guy. So. The shine. Yep. Okay. I got you. So, yeah, I was just starting to get a little bit of sweat. It is true. It does happen, guys. I mean, I'm working hard here. I don't think you think I'm sitting here, but it's almost like cardio, this kind of work right here. Right. Right. No, I know, guys. I just didn't know what he meant by that. But yeah, so that's the main thing. I'm always just trying to improve everything. And so my next step is I don't know, probably losing 15 pounds. I think that'll make me look fantastic in front of the camera. So that might be the way to go. Okay, I thought that's what you were talking about. It's like a makeup powder. No, just let your head be shiny, bro. It doesn't matter. If they see you working up a sweat, that means they know that you're working hard. That's the way I look at it. Let them see you sweat, You're all by yourself anyway, so why not just let them see you sweat? But yeah, I'm going to have to just turn the air conditioning on next time maybe. But yeah, so was there anyone else here that really had a big stumbling block at all with anything else that was going? Does anyone worry about what other people may think about things? Because I'll tell you right now, I got 30 videos out, and like I said, about what, a dozen streams or something. There's not one single person in my whole family except my mom that ever makes a comment. Or, I'm not talking about my immediate family, of course, my wife and my son, but there's nobody else that makes really a comment about anything or watches or looks. Everything I do is like totally organic. And so there's whoever comes to, watch and jump in. That's why I appreciate everything so much more than probably average, because I'm definitely not getting a lot of support from a lot of my family members or people coming in to see what I'm trying to do or ask questions for that matter. So it's definitely a lot of work, and even like friends I don't really think understand it, even though like a couple of my coworkers I know they've been talking positive about it, and seeing that I'm making some goals, but man, they really don't really say too much about it at all. So right. So you just started sharing with your friends your channel. That's good though. I really think you should, and it's a big step for you. I feel by watching your videos, for doing it, and I'm glad you did it. You know what I mean? Like I really like your stuff, and I want to hear you talk more about it, and I want to hear you talk more about how you feel about all that stuff, and and I would be curious to know about like the things you're talking about here with your friends and how they react to it. Because I think it's really cool because we're all like in a very similar boat here. And it's nice to know that other people are going through the same thing, man, because it's hard as hell to be a YouTuber and be little and start out. You know what I'm saying? So that's my wife. She's saying, geez. But yeah, previously you just your wife, but that's great, man. You got to share it out with people, and they're either gonna support you or not. So that's all you got to do. My wife says to Eric that you just need to use that use just for men, that stuff, that white balance that goes on here. I've used it before. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've used it, and man, do I look so young that I had to stop using it. So, but Robert says my family doesn't watch my channel. I don't make content for them. Well, it's not, God, it's not really about content though. I just feel like why not support somebody that's trying something different and, totally out of the box, right? Like I know, listen, I get it. There's lots of YouTubers, but you're a family member. It's like someone just starting, and I would support somebody that was trying to do something like that, a little different. But maybe I miss everything, like I don't know, and I can't, and I don't really worry about it, because you just got to keep on going and just find your people anyway. And these are my people right here. There's 8, 9, 10 people. You are my people, so I don't really care. That's it. So you push your channel on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, I didn't have any traction on Twitter at all, like zero. And it's just it's a tough platform for tech, really. And I don't really see the big people like spending a ton of time on it either. And I don't want to be like all over the place, because you got to put your efforts in spots that make sense. The only thing I feel like I should dabble in more is perhaps I should dabble in Instagram and maybe TikTok. I don't know, but I think maybe Instagram. I think I should just like throw some shorts out there on that platform and do a little bit more, but I'm just not there yet because my time is important, and I'm just trying to get things, done on a weekly basis for that matter. You know what I mean? So yeah, we have to keep him honest. That's it right here. That's it. But what is Chris here asking? What is the deal with you doing a stream and you are talking about someone else's video to show a product? Can you show it? Is that legal, or is it YouTube world? There are rules on that. I don't know them all actually. I'd have to check that out. Someone might know here, but I heard that you can like use something to show something, but you might have to also get their permission for it. So it's kind of like a little touchy sometimes. But if if you go through the proper steps, YouTube actually talks about it. You might have to go through and like check their services, and they tell you exactly what you might have to do for something like that. So yeah, that's a good question because I was talking about this with Robert the other day, and what do you guys really think about shorts? I'm really curious to know what you may think about that because I am not putting a lot of effort into it right now because it's really my weekly content, but I'm thinking about like using it as like an icebreaker for my personality, like something quick and funny. So tell me if you guys are thinking about similar things like that for the shorts. I'd be curious to find out. I found Instagram not to work for me. I could see though, right? I think you got to look at your content. And Eric, your content is a little bit more mature. And I think people thinking about security and safety in the on the internet, I could see Twitter being better for you. So really, right? It does depend on your content for that matter. Hello, thanks for stopping in again. I appreciate you coming in. Your videos are looking better and better. I love it. You got your audio synced up with your video, and your quality of your video has improved with using. I believe now you got a capture card because it looks that way, and you're off the USB cable. So keep on making improvements. That's awesome. So also, just to remember again, if you just stopping in, Inspirational Connection TV, if you're here and you want anyone to find you here, drop a comment after the video in the video, and that will help you find each other and click on each other's YouTube channels and keep in touch if that's what you want to do. Okay, so it's always good to do that. And so I'm just letting people, because we're commenting here and you start interacting in the comments and you can't go through the comments to find somebody. So just remember that you won't be able to do the chat, use the chat like that. So yeah, and you could hit the like button. That wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt. So thank you for saying that. Um, so yeah, and the product depends on what you're reviewing. It does. It does. And that always is. And but that's Chris, Chris had a good question also, yep, about using another product. But let me tell you, so should strangers support me more than your family? So you're getting the same reaction. So we're not all in a different boat here, right? It seems like they just don't understand, I don't think, really about it. And then also when I look at my demographics, I think my age group that are watching the majority of my channel, these people are between the age of 35 and 45. No, 25 and 45. That is the biggest group of people watching me. So then you kind of think like, where do those people live? Where are they? A lot of them are on Facebook and a lot of them are on Instagram. Some people Twitter too, but you wouldn't imagine like there's a lot of people, on TikTok, at that age. So, but who knows? TikTok is funny though. I see a lot of funny videos on there. I mean, they are hilarious. So, I'm not interested because my content is not conducive to shorts. Right? I could see that, and that's another thing. But you know what though, Eric? It's kind of like I don't disregard the shorts, but like your content is your content. But then maybe saying something like really quick and people can see a little bit of your personality, it could capture people. I mean, it is possible, but I'm not really sure. And plus, like for me, like I said before, it's about focusing on what's right in front of my face. So I think that's what I'm trying to do the most, is just focus on what I got going on. So inspirational, I'm sure of it, more supportive. Yeah, so we're all here and about supporting each other, and you guys are supporting me. So take a look at that. I really think that's really what it's all about, right? You come into a stream, who would think that you could meet people and people show up in your streams and people show up on your channels. And I try to get out there and check your guys' stuff out and support each other, because it's rough on YouTube, and you can really learn a lot from different people. I mean, there are a lot of different perspectives, and there are things that you can definitely learn from everyone. So that's for sure. And I think, and that's it. Like, I'm not really sure it's for me also, Eric, but I'm not against it. I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to think in my head how I could twist it and use it and make something funny about it. Kind of like, remember that commercial where I think I want to say it was a Staples commercial where the lady picks up a stapler and she uses that as a camera and she goes clickety click. I'm like trying to think, like, in a funny way, how can I use that for tech? And then, like, someone just checks it out if you make something kind of funny and relatable, and then they just go and check your content out. I mean, it is possible. So every time I try to look at some of the analytics, I get there is not enough information. I've been getting that. Just 4 videos uploaded on my channel, maybe in a couple months. So first of all, no matter, you're going to get that when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of views. So if you don't have a lot of views yet, a lot of the part of the analytics they don't have yet. And so that's, that's definitely based off of your views and how you tag your information and title it. So just make sure, if in your videos you're trying to get some type of generalization point across, that your title and your description and a couple tags all kind of go for the same kind of thing and the same relative idea. So if you were talking about like your YouTube channel experience or something new, and say, you put like my experience of being a new YouTuber, you just make sure you put that kind of same sentence in the description, and then put like in the tags, new YouTubing, new to streaming, or new this, anything that ties it all in. So this way you give everything to the AI, YouTube AI, to just put out strictly for that kind of content. Because otherwise it can get really confusing for the AI when it has like various things coming from different parts that don't match up, and it can't figure out how your video is supposed to be shown. So that's one thing, just to hopefully give you some tips about trying to have YouTube push out your videos a little bit more easier. Yeah, that's why I love coming to streams and supporting people that support me. And right, isn't that it? Like, we come back and forth and support each other, and you're going to see the growth. And the thing is, right? Just get a little bit better each time. Like, every time we do something, we just get a little bit better and a little bit better. And that's just going to improve. And then the next week, and then you see you get a couple people subscribing, and it just grows from there. And it just, you keep on being consistent while putting the same effort in. And then, if you're doing that all the time and you're not seeing the growth, then you're going to have to do a little bit deeper look of what exactly are you doing right and wrong. So I use shorts to basically announce what videos I just released. I put the link to my full video in the short, and there you go. So that makes perfect sense, right? And you can put that link in the video right before the fold. So this way people don't even have to hit to read below it, anything else, and they could just hit that link and go right to that video. So, and you'll be able to see if that is actually working for you in the future. So, and that's a good way to judge if maybe you're getting a few more views off of shorts, which is definitely a possibility. There you go. So, right. So, okay. I believe we have more supporting going on amongst each other in here, and that's fantastic. That's what it's all about. So, Chris is asking, any wisdom on wanting to take your video out of your in-house studio? What if you wanted to walk a trade show floor, suggesting going out of house and what you should take with you? Okay. So, I would ask you, are you talking about streaming, or are you talking about just video? Because you could just go out and video all this, come back, edit it, and then just put it right up. But streaming is a whole different thing. So if you're talking about streaming, there are several different ways, and really you need to know what a budget you have to begin with, because once you start going to other places to like that, how you getting your, your Wi-Fi, or how you getting your internet for that matter, and then what kind of things are you using? There's transmitters that are out there. They're just expensive. And so there's transmitters there that can go right out to the internet. They can stream directly. I think Hollywood makes some really good ones. And there's equipment that costs a good amount of money, but an easy like a trade show, you would need something like that. So it can get really expensive. And at this point, you would definitely, this is like technology that's grown the last 2 years, but I know that Hollywood is the name brand. I think it is. I think it is. And they have these wireless transmitters that you can buy. And then you definitely would have to have your own LTE setup for your streaming. So you would just use, a hotspot that you would provide for yourself. So those are the kind of things that you would have to do. But that it gets pricey. It's super pricey. But Chris, streaming, I would go good with a cell phone. I'm in the middle of yeah, but I think he's trying to be more professional than with just the cell phone. I think he's thinking about like doing something like on the professional level and streaming it live. And also, I think you might, on a trade show basis, when you're streaming live right from there, you're definitely going to have to make sure, I would think, that that's okay with the trade show. And yeah, but that's, that you are relying on someone else's, signal. And so that's also what I would be really worried about if you were going to do this kind of stuff. Because if it's talking about getting paid for something like this, you would have to have a lot more clarity and just make sure that your equipment is solid. And that's why, when you go wireless for things like this, it's not always recommended. So, but both. I'm seeking action, doing Action Kid, doing walks around New York City, and he's streaming live, and thousands log on. Yeah, but you got to remember, when these people can do that because they have over so many, subscribers. Not anybody can just do that. You have to get to a certain level on YouTube to be able to stream live with a mobile device. Yo, there he is. Everyday Tech. Hello, hello. Just stopping by to say hi. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. Yes. I mean, that will work, but I'm just telling you, it's not as simple as that. There's more to that. And then plus, if you're streaming to YouTube, like I said, on a mobile device, anyone just can't do that. Like he's thinking, I think. So, but we have to see. You have to see. It's not easy when someone's just asking a question and there's so much to it. And plus, there's like 10 different ways to do something. So when someone says something like that, okay, do you have $30,000? And then we could just go shopping and get that stuff, and it's not hard. But when you're on a budget, man, it's not as simple as that. But where are we? What time is it? It's 10:03. I think we're done for today. Does anyone else have any other good questions? Right. That's what I mean. There's so many variables. I mean, a simple answer is just, like take your phone, take your phone and get a shotgun mic for $40, but it's going to look like garbage. It's not going to look like how you want it to look, especially if you're moving around and doing things. I mean, these guys, I don't know. I don't know who that person is, but I'm just saying, an Action Kid. I don't know who that is. But there's so many variables. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else to really go over. No one really has any questions, I don't think. And we're at about like an hour, and that's it. But I hope everybody's going to be creating some stuff that we can watch. I hope you guys are doing some more videos, and we can take a look at some new content that you're going to be having. And then we could work on things. I think I'm going to do a couple more videos related to some audio equipment in the next couple weeks, I believe. So thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad to see you on here tonight. And I hope everybody's healthy. And I hope next week, I'm going to have a guest, I think, next week on. And we're going to probably talk about a few different things on maybe some mic equipment that we have. But let me see. What else you got here? Sweetwater rep called me. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Those are all the things you need. There's a million things, but I mean, I just sold the gimbal because it sat in my closet for a year. I didn't even use it. So I got rid of that, and you could throw it on a gimbal, and then you can, like the Canon M50, the Mark II, that's one of the things they're marketing, that you could just go live, but you can't go live to YouTube from a mobile unit like that. They don't let you unless you have, I believe, 1,000 subscribers, or unless you're monetized, or maybe like more. It's like there's different rules, and you have to look into that stuff. And don't even worry about the equipment, because if you can't do it, then why would you want to buy the equipment? So you have to find that out first. But called you on the phone concerning the mic booster. Great. Yes, they are great guys over there. They're awesome. They'll keep you in touch. Unfortunately, it took 3 months for my mic boosters to get here. I could tell you that. So we might be waiting a while on those. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for everybody stopping in. I appreciate that. You have to write a script for my Monday video. There you go. That's what we're talking about, right? You're going to do another video. That's great. I got to put some bullet points together. Yes. I'm going to have a little guest on next Thursday. And he's just like a musician, actually. And he's a percussionist. And he's going to stop in. And we're just going to go over a couple mics, So I know you'll be here because you love mics. So I'm just going to put like 4 different mics up. And we're going to like talk into them and just see what people think about some of them. And then on top of that, whatever we get to after that. We're just going to talk on it, see what people think, get some other some other great talk, and then we'll go from there. We'll just shoot some stuff off about some tech, whatever. Anybody has any good questions, they can ask anything. So, yes, talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I love it. I'm really thankful for everybody that stopped in tonight. It was awesome, and another week. You might. Who could that be? There's so many percussionists, though. That's the thing. Wonder who it could be. That is the exact reason why you want to put your channel in the comments down below. Okay? When you're a small channel, a lot of times it's hard to find people. So this way, if you make a comment down below, that will help you, because I had a hard time finding some people, and I waited a little bit longer, and it really helped. So, just make sure you're doing that, and that will help everyone find each other. So, yep, we can watch them. You can sub. You can let us know when you're going to be live streaming, and that's what we'll try to support each other the best we can with all that stuff. And thank you. Hit that like button. That always helps us out too. And okay, great. That will be great. There we go. Leave a comment. That's it. Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. I love you guys, and have a fantastic week. And I hope I see you guys next Thursday at 9 Eastern time. All right. Talk to you soon.